Hi, everybody. It's Pat Love from eXp Realty. I'm here today with Susannah Steers, sorry, tripping over words, of Moving Spirit. Hi, Susannah.
Hi, Pat. Thanks so much for having me. It's fun to chat with you again.
Yes, it's nice to see you as well. And thank you for taking time out of your busy day to share with us about the business and catch up after a long while of not being able to hear from you. So,
Yeah.
So why don't you share a bit about your business? Now, what I'm always curious is how one describes what it is you do. So I think a lot of people hear the word, but they don't really know much about it.
What the heck it is?
Yeah.
Well, I have a small Pilates studio in North Vancouver. It's called Moving Spirit Pilates. And we offer full service Pilates, and that is everything from mat classes to working with the Pilates specialized apparatus, the reformers, the Cadillac, the chair. There's a whole bunch of different things that help us create different kinds of workouts and different kinds of loads and assists for people. Um, if I were to Pilates, often people connect it to yoga and say it's similar, and I guess in some ways it is, but in some ways it really isn't. It's definitely a whole body workout in the way that a yoga class might be. We're using equipment, it's spring-loaded equipment, so it's body weight training with the resistance of the springs added on, and we can use those springs to either load the body in particular ways, or if the body needs a little help to get somewhere, we can create some assists as well. So that's in a nutshell. I mean, there's a lot of focus on core support, making sure that you have good access to the muscles in the trunk of your body that can stabilize you well so that you can move with really great efficiency in either big ways or small ways, whatever it is you need.
Oh, that's good.
So the way our studio works is a little different from some in that we don't do just a typical instructor-led class where everyone is doing the same thing at the same time. We design custom-built workouts for each person. We have Pilates professionals, instructors whose only job is to do Pilates, and so they have lots and lots of training. And we work to deal with movement patterning and building efficiencies and making sure that the structure of the body is really able to handle all the various things that you might do in your life, you know, from sports to hanging out with the kids, whatever is happening in your world.
Well, that helps me understand, and hopefully it helps other people who are too embarrassed to ask what the heck it is that you do. All right. So as we were chatting, we were waiting. I was saying I was waiting for Bonnie Henry to bring the hammer down. And so let's talk a bit about the pandemic and how it's affected your business and changes you've made. And maybe there's things you can share that'll help other business people.
Yeah, it's been a ride. I will say that. You know, it has for everybody. We're not alone. But I think the indoor group fitness activity right now is getting hammered pretty hard.
Yeah, it's sort of yes, no, yes, no, yes, no.
Yeah, we actually closed a couple of days before the official order came down originally back in the spring. I had some friends that work in public health who said, "Ooh, this is going to be big and it's going to be bad." And I don't think even they really understood the magnitude of what we were looking at.
Because it was only 2 weeks, remember?
Well, exactly, right? You shut down thinking, oh, it's just going to be, you know, a month at the most. It'll be, you know, we'll be all over it.
Fine.
You know, closing your business and realizing as you close that you have no idea how, you know, you still have to pay your rent, you still have wages, you still have all these things that you've got to pay for.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, how are we going to find that, you know, where's that income going to come from?
Mm-hmm.
So we pivoted really quickly. And within, I think, a week and a half, we had everything that we could do online. So I was pleased with that, and it was a big change for a lot of people. Yeah, it was a big change for us too. You know, we're really used to doing hands-on cueing and really being able to see the body and find those minute little shifts and changes that might make all the difference in somebody's experience of their movement. So this was having to get used to being at quite a distance, and as I said to you earlier, meeting everybody's cats and dogs and kids, and so that was really fun. There was an aspect of it where we get to see people on a different level than we might when they come in all ready for their workout in the studio. Mm-hmm. So then we were able to come back, first with privates and semi-privates, early in the summer, and then we were able to come back up to our full group classes are only 4 people at a time, so it's not like we're filling a crazy room full. Mm-hmm. But still in this climate, that's a lot of people. So we've been doing that for a while, and then in October we had a lovely influx of new people coming in to work out and learn how to work their bodies a little differently. And then, of course, in November, we came to the roller coaster again, and it's been a bit of a ride again. The thing that's tricky for us in just flipping over to a virtual class is that all of a sudden we don't have the benefit of all the Pilates apparatus that we would normally use. Mm-hmm. So we have to go toward a mat-based class, which is great, but not everybody can do that. We do have a percentage of our clientele that are either recovering from injuries or have conditions of one kind or another that really don't make a mat class possible for them to do, even if we lighten it way up. So for those people, it's, when we have to shut down and only do mat, they're sitting out. Mm-hmm. But for others, it works okay. This time around, it's been interesting to realize that there are a lot of people who are like, yeah, okay, there's another option from the Zoom thing. So we can still do privates and semi-privates at this point, and we're doing our best to really serve the people that we're working with at the moment, because as I said, we had a wonderful influx of some great new folks. And so it's a bit of a scramble right now just to make sure that everybody's getting what they need. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. The other side of it is the cleaning side of it. Oh my goodness. I saw a meme. I can't even remember. It was on Facebook somewhere when some Pilates studio shared a meme. And sometimes I clean Pilates equipment, and sometimes I actually teach Pilates, because between every single class, between every single person, we basically have to go from top to bottom, everything that we have, all the equipment, all the accessories, all the mats, all the springs. It's pretty nuts. Mm-hmm. But everybody's doing it. It's what you have to do right now. Yeah. It just means that we've got to kind of space our classes out a little bit, and it means paying instructors for time that it's not, they're not teaching.
Yes, they're cleaning.
They're cleaning. Yeah, I can't charge for that. Yeah. Anyway, so it's. I think everybody's enduring these crazy things. I think the thing that my biggest takeaway this last month was I've been turning myself inside out and backwards to try and respond on a dime, to flip as soon as I could to make the changes that it seemed like we need to make. But especially in the last month, that was more of a liability than something that was serving us well, because we'd make a quick change and shift as fast as we could. And then there would be all of a sudden a change, right? And all of a sudden I couldn't do that anymore. So this month we've taken a much more measured approach, and we're just doing what we can do for this month. And even if tomorrow, dear Dr. Bonnie Henry says to us, you can open up and have as many people in the room as you want, we're going to keep doing what we're doing for December, and we'll see what comes in the next month or so.
Yeah, well, that's good advice for other businesses, not to be so responsive, because you will drive yourself crazy when things change minute to minute.
It is literally minute to minute.
In the middle of your workday.
Yeah.
So.
Yes.
That's a very valid point. So let's talk about this series is all about helping the community and our local business people survive this. So could you share, anything, any upcoming promotions or any way that the community can help you?
Wow, that's a wonderfully generous thing to do. Thank you so much. It's been really, may I just say, it's been really interesting for me to get to know the local community in a very different way than I'd known it before. Everybody is scrambling to survive at the moment in various ways, and I found it really heartening to see businesses reaching out to each other and talking about the restrictions and how does this affect you and what are you doing with this.
Mhm.
That's been really, really great to see. I think I'm feeling closer to a lot of the people in my community than I had in previous years. So,
Yeah, your
I mean, if
competition has
COVID,
switched to your support group.
well, exactly, right? They're the ones who know how it feels.
Yeah, yeah,
Probably the biggest promotion that we have is an introductory private training series, and it's an introduction to our reformer training classes, and it's a prerequisite whether you're doing private training, semi-private training, or group training. It's the place where we do an assessment of you and your structure. We look closely at your goals and look at your structural needs and your fitness requirements, and sort of work towards building a program that sustains your structure in a really good way, as well as building more strength and stamina and that kind of thing. And so it's a series that goes, it's five private sessions, usually completed over the course of a month. And that is $395 for those 5 classes. And it's a dig in. And if you decide that that's as far as you want to go, you'll have learned lots about your own system and about how it works, and maybe how you use your core, and ways that you might be able to play with it differently.
mhm.
And if you want to do more, it's wide open as far as the pathways that there are. Our group training obviously is suspended at the moment in the studio. We're doing our online stuff. But if people are interested in sort of digging into Pilates and doing a really intentional workout, it's not sort of a casual work. If they're intentionally looking at connecting to their body in a different way, then that's what we're all about.
Okay, great. Well, that gives us a really good idea of where you're at in your business, and thank you for sharing some things we can all learn from. And I appreciate the time you've taken out of your a day of adapting to Dr. Bonnie Henry.
Well, thank you for a little bit of chat instead of feeling the bottom drop out of my gut when I hear more from Dr. Bonnie Henry. I'm so appreciative. It's funny. One thing I wanted to say quickly before I go is, in hearing and feeling all these changes and the ups and downs and the yo-yos, there were a couple of points in there where I felt like just shouting, getting angry at somebody and shouting at somebody, get it together. And it really took a minute for me to realize that, we are all scrambling. There are no experts. Yes, we have our public health experts who are experts in the transmission of diseases, but how we're all going to handle this, there's nobody to look at. There's no template. So
imagine what her day's like.
I can't even, that's when I have to, check myself, right? It's like, woo, I cannot imagine what Dr. Henry and that whole health team is dealing with. And so my gratitude, if any of them are listening, my great gratitude for all the work that you're doing. The stuff that we're enduring is small in comparison. So
very good point, and thanks for sharing that too, because it makes us all think we liked her way back in March, didn't we? And I really feel that she has something against all of my activities, but that's okay. It feels somewhat personal at times. Anyway, Susannah, I know you're busy, so I'm going to finish us up here. And thank you very much again, once again. And I look forward to actually seeing you and maybe having a coffee in person one day when we're allowed
That would
to
be
again.
great. I would love that. Thanks so much, Pat.
You're welcome.